All right guys, welcome to another review. This time we're here with another Santa Fe, a 2024, and this time we're here with the base model hybrid. So in the Hyundai Santa Fe range, the new hybrids get a base model, a elite model, and then two versions of the calligraphy. So the two versions are a 6-seater and a 7-seater. We reviewed a 6-seater, which the review will be out by the time you see this review. And this one here is the base model. We still have the Elite to go and a 7-seat calligraphy review, just for good measure, just to get it out there. Now, all of them share the same petrol engine with hybrid and electric motors combination, meaning that they are just as comfortable and just as fuel efficient. And it purely comes down to a choice of how much stuff you want inside or how much stuff you don't want inside the car. In terms of styling, how great does this new Santa Fe look? These H elements here, they actually light up to be basically a daytime running light that is in the shape of a H. From there, it passes through that center of the grille and you get some more H designs just here. Down here on the grille, that H continues again into this section here. So just a really continuous design language and these little hidden elements for the new Santa Fe. You get them in the back, which we'll show you in a little bit. And on higher grade levels, you get them in the ambient lighting and also in the leather seat stitching. So make sure you do check out the calligraphy review because that will show you some of those little Easter eggs. Now, one of the great things with the new Santa Fe range is that safety is not an option across the whole range. You will have core safety functions as standard equipment. That means you and your loved ones are going to have zero issues in being safe on the road, and you as a parent having peace of mind, or you as a driver with friends that maybe you like a little bit more than I like my friends, also having that peace of mind that everyone's going to be safe on your journey. Starting at the front, you have a 360-degree camera, or a front camera that forms part of that 360-degree camera system. You have a mirror on both sides that has a camera within that housing, plus a rear camera at the back on the tailgate. So that is the 4 cameras that stitch together the image to give you a nice, clear 360-degree camera system. The other thing with the external mirrors, they also help you with some blind spot monitoring, which we'll get to later in the video. As part of that as well, you get front parking sensors, which you get down the bottom here and here. These help maintain a nice distance between whatever obstacles are around you as you're parking to make sure you keep the car looking nice and schmick. And once again, just to avoid some unsightly damage from you getting a little bit too close and giving things a little bit of a love tap as you park. Now, one thing that you'll notice if you've seen some of the footage while the car was running, or if you watched our other review, is this is closed off right now. Now, these here are active shutters. So when the car is on, in order to feed enough airflow into the car, these actually open up and there are full tunnel in there to get as much air as possible into the car. Obviously down here you get more traditional air vent and flow down here, but these ones here are active. So when you're parked, they will be closed. When the car is running and you're driving, it will look like something's fallen out, but that's just it's trying to get as much air as possible into the car because there's no actual open grille at the top here. So something new that you may have not known before. Now, I love the change in how they're presenting the Hyundai logo on these new models. So this is a bit of a machined, polished type finish to the badge, not some chrome, so it's just a little bit less flamboyant and it just fits nicely with the rest of the bodywork. And it's also sitting flush on the bonnet as well, rather than being a big H on here or a stick-up logo or anything like that. So you just have a really nice emblem that's part of the overall body. The paint that you're looking at. Now, I didn't think I'd like it when they told me I was getting a green one to do the review in, because I generally don't like green cars, as you probably would tell if you've watched most of my other videos when I've reviewed a green car. But this one is a Ocado green, so OCADO green. It's actually not a bad color. In the light, it actually also has quite a nice little reflection and tone to it. And as you can see here at nighttime, you get some nice shading to it that gives it a bit of a mysterious vibe. So I actually quite like the job that they've done with the color range on the new Santa Fe. By default, most of my cars tend to be a gunmetal or graphite gray. And the Santa Fe is probably one of the first cars I've not actually liked that color in. I think some of the newer colors that they've got are definitely the colors that you should look at. So make sure you check out your dealer and ask them to show you a variety of different colors before you make that decision on the color. One other thing as we move across to the car this way is they've blacked out these side accents. So you get an unpainted and unpolished finish here for this wheel arch. In higher grades like the calligraphy, it will be a gloss black finish. That Santa Fe emblem is still a gloss black there, but this then returns to an unpainted finish that matches that. Indicators are on the side mirror as well, and that camera that I mentioned is down here. Handles, still super easy to use because they're normal handles. They've not gone for weird fancy handles like some other brands, which means whether you're in hot or cold climates, you're still going to be able to open these and close these in snow, rain, heat, wherever extreme you have. Push this button here and that will lock and unlock the car. It doesn't have a hand sensor in the inside here, so you will need to press that to get the car to open and close. And the doors open really nice and wide, meaning it will be very easy for you to get in and out with your kids, family, friends, any elderly relatives that you might have in. They're going to be able to get in and out nice and easily as well. Now, if you've watched our calligraphy review or you've seen a car online, one of the things that this model doesn't have in the base is a grab handle or recessed little cavity. So in the higher spec model, there's a little bit of a section here where you push one side and that acts as a grab handle to lift yourself up to get at the top to load anything on and off the roof. This one doesn't have it. It's actually quite weird because this model doesn't have a glass roof or a panoramic roof on top, so it's probably the model that people would actually be loading up with roof platforms, roof racks, surfboards, whatever. So I kind of feel like it was a missed little thing that they probably could have just stuck across the whole range rather than going the top model, which is probably going to be doing more school runs and some of the more day-to-day things that aren't really adventure driven. Big 20-inch alloy wheels are standard, which means you get 20-inch tires as well. Now they've allowed for enough rubber between the rim and the road, which means that this car is comfortable. However, on some harder speed bumps, you will need to slow down because you definitely will feel as you hit those speed bumps with these tires. However, it's not uncomfortable on the road, both around town or on the highway. I've found this model very comfortable and incredibly smooth on most road surfaces, which is basically how I found the old Santa Fe. So definitely kept that nice refined drive on this and leveled it up a little bit more. These wraparound tail light design down here, plus the bottom indicator and reverse light ensemble, give it a nice clean finish. Big Santa Fe badging so that everyone will know that this is a Santa Fe hybrid, so you can have your peace of mind that you're doing your bit for the environment or that you're doing the bit for your wallet, because a hybrid will do a lot better on fuel than a straight petrol or diesel. In fact, this is rated at 5.6 litres per 100 kilometres during testing on the calligraphy model that we had, and a little bit on the highway drive with this. Around town and on the highway, it averages around 6 to 6.5 for a brand new car, and obviously loaded with our gear. So that's actually pretty good. I think you'll probably get 5.5 in more like inner city kind of conditions where it is stop start, and then around on the highway you will get around that 6.5, which is what we've been experiencing. So I think they've done a great job there with fuel. Down here, or at the top here I should say, is where your wiper is. So if you're wondering how you keep this back window clear on rainy days, or on get rid of the dust when you build up your dust on road trips, that will just come from the wiper that's at the top here. There's no little slot here that has the reverse digital full display mirror, and that's because the calligraphy model gets that, not this model. Your rear camera, however, is well positioned down here, meaning that it will be nice and clear to see any obstacles as you're backing out or trying to park and navigate around car parks. One thing that this does have is the electronic power tailgate. So it is standard on the whole Santa Fe range. It's probably the one thing that I kind of wish Hyundai would have made a standard non-powered tailgate for this particular model. Now, enough about the outside. Let's go have a look at the inside and what awaits you in the new Santa Fe as a base model. Let's go. Now, one of the things you'll notice as we open up and go inside the car is the door cards still feel every bit premium. So soft touch materials at the top here, some nice silver highlights through here for the handle and the surround. You get your power windows, power mirrors, all that stuff is all through here, including an electronic child lock for unlocking and releasing the rear, so you don't have to go out there and manually flick the child lock on and off. Down here, soft touch material for this padded area, but then normal plastic down here for all the high wearing areas, which is what you'd expect for any car, regardless of price point, because normally down the bottom, that's generally where the harder plastics live. Big storage here for this bottle holder, plus some space for your wallet, and obviously the reflector there for when the doors open. The other thing you'll notice is that this door opening is actually quite wide, so if you are a little bit bigger or you have a little bit slower movement, maybe due to previous injuries, you'll be able to slide yourself in nicely with very little effort. So that's a great move there by Hyundai. Now, moving inside, steering wheel, very comfortable, nicely wrapped and very nice feeling. And you also then have reach and tilt adjustable steering wheel controls, meaning you'll find the perfect position for you while you're driving this car. So you're not going to be too close or too far. We've all seen those videos of people sitting way too close with steering wheels. You don't have to worry about that. You can place this exactly where you need it to be. Driver attention monitor is the little thing that's sitting on top of that steering wheel. That will make sure that you're not yawning too much and starting to get a little bit drowsy or sleepy, that your eyes aren't closing up, or that you're even not looking at the dash. It will give you a couple of nice little gentle reminders to let you know that you need to start looking at the road. Indicators on the right, wipers on the left. You have auto headlights and you have auto wipers. And this stalk down the bottom here is where you change your gears. So twist it forward for drive, twist it back for reverse, push it in on the edge, and that will get it back into park. I'm not a huge fan of the positioning there, because I think what they could have done is just incorporate a couple of buttons in the center console, which they've done in other models previously throughout the Hyundai range. This just seems like a little bit of a step backwards. However, it is very easy to use. It's very straightforward in its operation. If you want to go forward, you twist it forward. If you want to go back, you twist it back. It is different to some of the other brands where reverse is actually twisting it forward, and to go forward, you twist it back. So at least they got that right there. On the steering wheel as well, you will have your volume adjustments, your phone answering hang up, your cruise control settings. This car does come with active cruise control, which means that it will follow the car in front at the speed adjustment that it has. So if you have 70 kilometers an hour set and the car in front slows down, it will adjust to whatever speed that slows down to keep that safe following distance gap that you've pre-selected. Outside of that, you do have a number of other buttons here that will guide you through the center infotainment system, and your electronic park brake is down here. Now, I mentioned that there's a couple of H's across the rest of the car that are kind of little Easter eggs. That follows onto the grille vent here and onto the highlights of this silver piece here. So that wing and that line that goes the whole way, that forms that outer edge of that H that you saw on the front grille. And then the inner air vents basically form the same on the two outer sides. So just a cool little thing from Hyundai on that side as well. Soft touch materials on the top of the dash. There's no heads-up display in this model. That does come in the higher spec one. And outside of that, come through to the middle and let me show you what you get as the infotainment and through this center console area. All right, so with the inside, one of the things I forgot to mention before is you also get some blind spot monitoring. So if you flick the indicator to the left or to the right, I've just switched those around for whatever reason, you will get the blind spot monitor lighting up the inner circles here. Now, this feature previously used to be available in higher grade models, so the Highlander always used to get it. Now you actually get it across the entire range on the Santa Fe, and that's increased the safety massively. And I quite like that, because when you're looking to the right, you still have your blind spot warning on the mirror, but you can also see what's coming up through the screen once you're set your indicator as well. So it keeps your eyes going forward. You can see in the center a big, beautiful digital display. You have two of them, one for the driver information and one for your infotainment. Now, BlueLink is available from Hyundai, which is what that message is all about. And BlueLink is an app that allows you to do things like remote start your car, run the air conditioning, and access general information about your car once you've paired it up and got it working. So make sure you download that if you do buy one. It's a great little app that makes the ownership side of this car a little bit easier. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are available, and you can plug them in through here, or you can set them up as wireless. The screen itself is very responsive and fast moving, as we've come to expect from the Hyundai range. In the base model, you have one wireless charging pad and one matching non-wireless charging pad, just to make it look nice at least. You'll also have two USB-C outlets here. If you press this, it will either prioritize to fast charge the phone or to balance it between fast charging and also using the data sync cable that allows you to use Apple CarPlay and Android Auto using a wired connection, sorry. Outside of that, down here you have a few additional buttons such as your drive or terrain management buttons. You have your downhill assist control as well, auto hold, and your camera system. And as previously mentioned, the camera is a 360-degree camera system, so you will have a bird's eye view camera as well as the forward guidelines. And you can see that the picture is a little bit weird, and that's just because the passenger door is open at the moment. And outside of that, that would normally not be the case. It gives you front guidelines and rear guidelines, which I quite like, meaning that you should be able to get yourself in and out of a parking spot with great accuracy if you're clued on how to use that. Outside of that, a little bit of storage up here, and it's rubberized, so things aren't going to slide around. And you also have a glove box here that is sprung even in the base model, which I quite like as well. On top of that, you have a rubberized little parcel shelf here, so if you want to chuck your phone or anything else, you can do just there. Big cup holders here make it very easy to hold your drinks. However, they are a little bit big for those Red Bull cans. You will need a jumbo-sized Red Bull can for it to hold, but the grippy teeth do a good job with things like your McDonald's cups for soft drinks or any kind of coffee cups. They should all fit in here nice and easily. Big center console here that allows you to store whatever you need, and down here there's a little bit of additional storage as well for whatever you want to store. If you're a mum, perhaps you want to fit your purse, your wallet, your handbag. If you're a guy, once again, your wallet. Maybe you're carrying a purse, or maybe you have a shoulder bag or whatever. Nice and easily fits under there. Another great handy thing that you could use that for is actually to carry a first aid kit. So not enough families carry first aid kits in their cars, so I highly recommend you consider getting a first aid kit at some point. With the interior, you get cloth seating with very nice bolstering on the front seats, meaning they are very supportive and they actually feel really comfortable on those drives. They do take a little bit of getting used to, because obviously in a normal base model car, you wouldn't normally have that bolstering. You'd have it in either a performance car or the top models with leather. But it's actually a really nice, snug feel to this car. So very, very well designed there for those long drives. So let's have a look at what the comfort's like in the back. Now, moving into the back, you're going to have the same treatment for the door cards, which keeps them looking nice and premium. So it gives it a nice feel, all soft touch materials in the same areas, and some very nice big cup holders, plus a bottle holder down the bottom as well, so plenty of storage. You have air conditioning vents down here, and they have that same pattern that carries across from the front ones and from the grille. That same pattern, again, carries across into here, and you have some shopping bag hooks just here, and plenty of storage behind the seat in the seat pocket. Overhead light plus a little storage here for a coat or anything like that that you need to carry, and grab handles, which are going to be nice and useful. Outside of that, you'll notice down here that some of the controls are manual. So this one here is actually just the backrest, meaning that you can really stretch out if you wanted to stretch out and relax on a long drive, or you can become a little bit more upright. So this is the most forward position in case you're trying to get some people into the back and you need a little bit of additional space, or you just really like to sit upright perhaps. To move the seats, you're going to have a manual rail adjustment. Now that there is the whole way forward, we're still having a nice amount of room behind the seat. It is a little bit upright, so maybe let me just put it to where I would have it. Probably there. Get the headrest going, and I'll show you why in a second, because I'm really wanting you to have a look at the back seat space, because it's just phenomenal. So before we head into the back and show you how much space there is, you have USB-C outlets just on the side seats here. This cubby flips forward so that you can access whatever's in there from both directions. Plus you have this little storage down here that opens up and you can chuck whatever you need to in there. So things like snacks, maybe some charging cables or anything like that. You keep everything nice and tidy in there. Interesting thing to point out is you have ISOFIX on the outer two seats here, and the top tether point is directly behind the middle row. This one here is obviously a 7-seater, so you have 3 seats across, and that third seat in the middle means that you're going to have cup holders down here in the armrest, making it nice and easy. But let's have a look at the back seats to see what else you get. Now, in the back seat, ISOFIX carries across. So you're going to have 2 ISOFIX seats in the middle, 2 ISOFIX seats in the back, and these also have the top tether straps directly behind the seats. So if for whatever reason you have 4 kids that all require ISOFIX car seats and top tether points, you're going to be nice and snug and well suited for that. If the middle seat is a booster and you don't have ISOFIX but it needs a top tether strap, it still has a top tether strap in the middle there. So you have 5 top tethers, anchor points for child seats, and 4 anchor points for ISOFIX on the base of the seats. That has to be one of the biggest ISOFIX top tethering anchor point combinations out of any 7-seat SUV. Yes, cars like the Kia Carnival or other people movers definitely will have more. We're talking specifically 7-seat SUVs. Now, I left the seat in the position that I showed you earlier because this is how much space you would actually have, which is really generous. And if I wanted to actually put my seat back so have a little bit more comfort, I could actually stretch out pretty nicely here in the third row. Now that's as an adult, which generally speaking, as an adult, you don't have a great comfortable time in the third row of any 7-seat SUV. So this is fantastic. If I bring this backrest up as well, this backrest will be at its full upright position at this point, giving you as much usable space in the back. So we'll see what that looks like in a second. But it still provides a very comfortable back third row experience. Cup holders on both sides and my own personal air conditioning controls in the third row, including my own air vents and also USB-C outlets. So third row in the Santa Fe is actually really, really spacious and really, really generous. And as you can see, headroom is actually pretty good. So if you need to cart people in the third row that need comfort, definitely have a look at a Santa Fe. Now, boot space. You're gonna have plenty of pram, stroller, soccer balls, school bags, shopping, whatever else you want to have in the back. You can definitely fit plenty in the back here. If you need to fit luggage, you're probably going to have 1 large or medium suitcase worth of space, plus then on top of that on the side, maybe a carry-on. But definitely with that third row up, luggage is probably the last thing you're going to be carrying. But check this out. So that's with the seat at its most upright, that's with the seat halfway, and that's with the seat the whole way back. So you have still a decent amount of usability for anyone that wants to use this back space in a variety of ways. If you're a parent and you're carrying a kid or some, whatever else you have in your hand and you're one-handed for operation, you can literally pull that strap down and that folds that down. So it's a one-handed up and a one-handed down, making it very easy to use when you've got your arms full. As I mentioned, one-handed. And that's really, really good. The tether points, as I mentioned to you, are directly behind those seats, so you're not going to lose out on any space. And once this is down, and we pull this down, that's a really decent amount of boot space for you to fit whatever you need if you aren't using the 6th and 7th seat on a regular basis. On top of that, we can actually fold those seats down. That one there I forgot to pull the headrest down for. But that is a huge amount of boot space and cargo space if the middle row is also down as well, giving you a tremendous opportunity to take this car camping. Maybe you want to go away on the weekend and it's just you and someone else and you use the boot space for work. This is going to be an absolute beauty of a car for you to do that with. So that's another great thing there. And a 12-volt outlet just here to give you a bit of additional power if you need to charge things like drones, other devices, or perhaps even just a mini in-car fridge as well. So it's a great thing there. Finally, at the back, you have your rear parking sensors. And once this closes, The back tail lights also give you that H treatment from Hyundai, which I didn't mention earlier, on both sides there. It's making a little bit of noise because the key's in my pocket rather than inside the car. But there you have it, guys. They're my observations on the base model or entry-level Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Maybe let me know if you would buy one, if you would consider one, or if you currently own a Santa Fe and you like your car or you don't like your car, let me know. Outside of that, guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to help us get more and more access to new cars and keep these reviews coming. Until next time, thank you.